Hey everyone, welcome back to another one of Ben's Tech Tips, brought to you by SaaS Alerts. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about the Entra device ID and how to determine why you may or may not be getting it showing up in your RMM. Before we start, I'm not going to be covering all of the different RMMs simply because I don't have access to all of them, but I will show you some basic steps that you can perform on a device that you're having issues with to eliminate the possibility that it might be a lack of an ID. So that's might be why you're not getting it. But when it comes down to the specific RMMs, if you follow the instructions, they should get there, but they first have to have an ID. So let me show you how to determine if they do. For this example, we are going to be taking a look at Daily News International company. So if we jump into the Entra Admin Center and we go to users, I'm going to be picking on Adele. So I want to first find out, does Adele have a device registered to her, or is there a device present? You can look at all of the devices too that are in here by just going to devices on the left. So if you look over here on the left hand side, you have devices, and we can see an overview of all the devices that may be in your environment. Clicking up here, and here are all the devices that are registered. If you are looking for a specific person to see if a device is registered to them, there's another place you can look. If you go under all users, and let's click on Adele, and then let's go under devices on the left here. So we see that Adele has a device that is registered to her, and you'll even get a little bit of information about this device. But the one thing that should help you narrow down if the device is registered at all is just looking for the host name and just making sure that matches up. If that does, you'll see that they do have a device. If that does match up, you should see that there is a device ID registered. So in theory, this device should have some sort of ID associated with it, but let's actually make sure that the device is presenting that ID and giving it to the RMM. All right, so if we jump over to her device, so let's do this. A lot of RMMs do have the ability to run like a terminal or a command prompt window. So you may not need to necessarily sign in to the device to run these commands. You might be able just to run them from that. But for this demo, we are going to just use PowerShell and find out, hey, is this actually picking up a device or not? So let's do this. Let's open up a PowerShell window. So we just do a search for PowerShell. We're going to want to pick the one that does not say x86 because that will not work. We are going to run this as an administrator. And let me see if I can make this window just a hair bigger for you so you can see everything that I'll be typing. So once we have that, let's pull up the article so we can get the information about the script. And if we scroll down, there's a bunch of information about the individual RMMs that you can look up, the ones that we support. But let's look at this script at the very top here, because that's going to be the one constant in this whole process. All right, so let's just break down what exactly this script does. So at the very beginning, we are establishing a variable, calling it capital dsreg command status. And that equals to this command. So we're running this command to get the status. But if you ever run that command in PowerShell by itself, you're going to see a lot of information. And it's not easy to kind of sift through all of this and find what you're looking for. So we run that in the background and establish that as a variable. So this next line, it says, if this command does match and has the device ID, then we're going to run this next little subset of commands that will clean that up a little bit and put it into a new variable called device ID. At the very last line, this $ device ID is a way for us to echo what the variable is. So we're going to be presenting that, putting it on the screen so that you can see, yes, indeed, there is a device ID. And the last line says it should look similar to this. So let's run that. All right, so let's go ahead and copy this command. And we come down here to our PowerShell, and we're just going to right click to paste it. So the very last line did not run, so I'm going to go ahead and hit return. And you'll see that my device ID is this long string of characters. But if we look back to our Azure directory, remember echo B8. You see right here, it's saying that my device ID is echo B8. So that does match up. That is the same device. So now we know that, yes, indeed, this device does have an ID, and I am able to kind of determine, what part should I look at next? Am I looking at something not being ingested properly by the RMM, or is it just something, there's a communication issue between the RMM and SaaS alerts? So this will help you at least eliminate one of those issues. And 9 times out of 10, usually it really is just a matter of the device just doesn't have an ID. It has not been joined to Entra, and it doesn't have that little bit of extra information. If you do determine that it does not have an ID, a pretty easy fix to get it on Entra. All you have to do is go to Start and then go to your settings. And we're going to be going under Accounts, and we're going to go under Access, Work, and School. And you can see mine are already connected, so it's already saying, hey, connected to this Azure AD. But if yours is blank and doesn't have anything in there, that could be the problem. To connect it, you just click on the Connect button and really go through the prompts of signing in to your a work or school account. Once that's done, that should be enough for Entra to pull that device ID and assign it to your device, so that our system will pick it up and it will know, what device it's looking at. So I hope this video has been helpful for you and at least gets you started to find out and diagnosing what the issue may be between your device not getting the ID and the RMM not picking that up. If you have any questions, feel free to submit them to support@saasalerts.com, and I'm sure our team will jump right on them. So if you do decide to submit a ticket, be sure to let them know that your device is indeed picking up an ID. And then it kind of really narrows down what the issue may be. It could be something with the way that the RMM is executing the script, which in that case, sometimes it's a matter of just changing who's actually executing the script. A lot of RMMs have the ability to either run it as a system or the current logged in user. And I've seen it work kind of both ways. And sometimes it works one way, sometimes it works another. So something to keep in mind and something to try out. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I look forward to talking to you again, and take care.